Man, I'm going to say it again and again and again. The relationships you have with people are a reflection of you. They are an extension of you, how you treat you, the relationship you have with you, the relationship you have with your mind. Here's the thing about relationships that we have to remember and understand. Relationships isn't just as simple as a person-to-person situation. It's your relationship with everything, right? Your relationship with your mindset, with your words, your relationship with your people, for sure, your relationship with your house, your relationship with your food, your body, right? These are all relationships that we don't spend enough time talking about. When we think relationships, we think of romantic love, which of course, why wouldn't you want some romantic love? You deserve that. But there's also this other part of relationships that we don't spend enough time working on and healing and giving love to because we're so busy stuck in this illusion in the society's way of living, which is you only really mean something, you only really are something when you have friendships, platonic friendships, and romantic relationships in your life. And the problem with that is that we actually took so much time trying to become the type of person that people would like and honor and want to be around that we didn't actually spend enough time getting to know ourselves, who we actually are, what we genuinely like, and if we want to be around ourselves, right? Most of us are calling in relationships with people, not realizing that the relationship we're going to call in is an extension of who we are. And if we don't like who we are or have a good relationship with who we are, that means we're going to continuously call in relationships that don't align with us. Continuously call in relationships that we're not that fond of, that we don't really love. And so there's something I want you to do. I want you to start looking at everything you're calling in, right? If you're in a position where you find yourself being lonely, or let's say you're around a bunch of people and you love all of these people. When you think about them, you think about the characteristics you love, you think about all the things that you would do for them, but you happen to also feel a level of loneliness, right? In that, or you feel like people don't show up for you the way that you show up for others. I want you to actually take a really good look and ask yourself, how often are you showing up for yourself? Right? And I don't just mean like you're showing up for yourself by like doing the things you need to do, right? Going to work and taking care of your household and cleaning and stuff like that. That's good. That's important. But like, how often are you working on your relationship with you? And do you even view yourself to be somebody that has a relationship with themselves? Because a lot of times we don't actually look at it that way. We just think that we are this one person in the world dealing with everything that's happening around us, when in reality, your entire world is you. It is how you think. It is how you move. It is what you believe in. It is everything that you are. So when you are sitting there and you're thinking about, okay, this is the kind of relationship I want to call in, what part of you is cultivating that energy? Huh? What part of you is giving yourself that same energy that you're requiring from others? What part of you is actually taking time to not just want a relationship with somebody else or want certain kind of relationships and situations, but is actually working on it, right? How often do you complain about not having money, but then don't work on your relationship with money, right? And I don't mean the relationship in terms of like, if I had more, I would X, Y, and Z. Like, how often are you taking time to actually like go to the library, read books on how to manage money? How often are you taking time to talk to money, to write to the energy of money and talk about what it is that you want and why you want it? How often are you taking time to really know what the energy of money is about and do the depth work? Not just the easy work where it's just like, I just need a job where I can get, great money, or I just need, an opportunity to come in, or I'm just going to play the lottery, but actually understanding the origin of money, building your relationship with it, getting to know it, understanding what it likes to go to, the people who are making money. How often are you studying billionaires and millionaires and what it is that they do and how they go about things and their habits and deciding whether or not it aligns with you, right? How often are you looking at your birth chart to see your second house and actually see, wow, okay, this is who I am with money. This is how I can be. Here's the good, here's the bad. How often are you taking accountability for how you show up when it comes to money? Taking accountability for how you feel and what you think about when it comes to money? The relationship that you want, the situation that you want to experience, the circumstances you want to be in, it's all dependent on what you got going on with it. And we don't spend enough time actually catering to the relationships outside of romantic and platonic relationships with people. Your relationships matter, but the first one that matters the most is your relationship with you. And your relationship with you is going to tell you exactly how deep or how much you're going to receive what it is that you want to receive. Because how you are treating certain things and thinking about certain things, how much effort and time you put into building yourself up is the kind of success, the kind of love, the kind of things that you're going to start calling into your life. It is directly correlated. Spend 30 days simply just focusing on you. And I don't mean just like a quick 1-2 healing, like you did some yoga, right? You meditated for a few. That's beautiful. You're building a relationship with your spirit, which means that your spirit is going to become more aware. You may think that you're not getting the physical things that you want, but your spirit is becoming more aware, becoming more open, becoming more grounded. That's a beautiful thing. But actually just spend time, the things that you complain about, the things you feel you don't have, the kind of relationships in your life you feel like, aren't the best, right? And start to build and cultivate that relationship within yourself. So if you feel like your romantic relationships are really toxic, start to cultivate romance within yourself that is not toxic. Ask yourself what part of me is toxic or tolerates toxicness and needs to let that go, right? You have the power to cultivate whatever relationship you want, not just the ones with people, but in your life. If you feel like you never get good things and the quality of life that you have is just so mundane and not what you want, how often are you actually putting in the effort to learn the kind of quality of life you want and taking steps towards that instead of just complaining about it? These are things we gotta talk about, boo bop. These are things we gotta think about, boo bop. You feel me? So that's what I want you to do. Take the next 30 days and just decide that you are going to think through everything you complain about, everything you feel you don't have, everything you think you lack, and cultivate a better relationship with it from yourself. You want more romance? Ask yourself, how can I be more romantic towards myself? You want more platonic relationships that are really cool and you can talk to them about anything? Cultivate more trust within yourself, right? If you feel like life is against you, cultivate a level of really being for you, really talking yourself up. Start to change your relationship with yourself and what you believe in and what's going on. And I promise you, okay? I don't promise all the time, but I promise you, it will change your life.